I'm Brad Mixar, which you guys already know that. I'm at the Rare Forms. I think this is like the 33rd show of the year. So, but yeah, so follow me. I got some artwork in here. I've been in this gallery about 4 to 5 times. Shout out to Station Gallery. If you know, you know.
Exactly. Amazing place. Amazing place.
We got my animation, Pressure Makes Diamonds. Basically, the theme of this animation was actually inspired from real life events. So back in about a year ago, I was doing some stuff, right? So, and you know, I was down bad and I was in the dirt. But then I realized that pressure makes diamonds. So this is kind of like my artistic expression of that. And you know, I also do boxing on the side, so that's like the expression of inspiration of stuff. So you know, but yeah, I appreciate you guys coming along, watching this interview. Thank you. You know, but yeah, I like the color of this one, how it has all like the lights and the blues kind of like pop out. And I like how I don't think they used, I think everything's kind of a dark blue. Even the black, I think, is a blue. So, which is a good pro tip in painting. Don't use actual black, just mix it with the primary color. I just feel like this one blends together really nicely. So, I'd say that one is the one that like speaks to me for sure. You know? That one also popped out to me, like the crack in it, like just how it was like made kind of thing. Like I just wonder how they could create that one.
What type of style would this be?
I guess it's more fabrication, you know, like architecture, kind of sculpture kind of style. That's like how there's like a crack in it, it's like, you know, mechanical-ish. You know, reminds me of like more like, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, this one also with the mask, I feel like popped out.
Yeah, this one's pretty crazy.
This is like a good centerpiece. And it kind of reminds me of like modern art in a way, you know?
Yeah.
3D kind of element to it. So.
And a lot of detail to it as well. Like, you can see even the forestry on it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
You know who makes a good one? Candy Prep. And then I do top of it. So it's interesting. Like I saw but that was so I knew she could draw. And I was having that was awesome, actually. Yeah, because you had
Show who you are by your dedication. Words don't mean much with inconsistent action. Yes, I know that something's better than nothing, and I agree with that. But the reason why a lot of people's plans fail is because they're not consistent enough. They're not consistent enough to see their vision come to fruition. You know, it's like the seeds, starting to see the seeds grow. You see, it's very easy mentally to get stuck in the germination phase of your plan or of your seed, right? But you can get out of the dirt, you can get out of the mud. You just have to be aware of the aspects of your garden. You got to be able to step back and analyze everything. Think of it as a gardener, right? You got to know how to tend to what's going on in the garden and what you're trying to grow. Now, things have different growth rates. So you got to understand that, okay, well, one thing you're doing may not grow the same way another thing that you're doing will. So that actually adds on to another factor, the phases of it, right? You're gonna have the seedling phase, then you're gonna have the sprout phase, then it's gonna grow a lot more, and then it will start to bear fruit. So be aware of the phases and the time it will take, as well as the things you have to tend to along the journey. You have to understand how to do everything, right? And not to overdo things. You can overwater your plants just as you can overdo your tasks, right, for your goal. So you don't want to burn the plant by leaving it out in the sun or drown the plant. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to fizzle away, right? So understand what it'll take to get to where you need to be, so you don't overdo anything or even underdo anything. You have to allocate the correct amount of time and the correct amount of effort for each thing, so you can maintain that level of consistency. When you have an in-depth understanding of that, it'll take where you need to be. You know, it could take a long time, but the fruits of labor, they're very worth it. Very worth it. I believe a lot of people would agree with that.